Good day, everyone. Welcome to Inspire and Shine. I am your host, Liz McCalling, a professional marketeer, pharmacist, an aspiring entrepreneur, and a current international student in Conestoga College, Canada. Be ready to be inspired in our first episode, learn from our very first guests' experiences to fast track success, and be prepared to shine way even brighter. Our topic will focus on closing techniques because at the end of the day, it always boils down to whether we get the commitment or are we successful in getting the buy-in of our target customers or our clients. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to a very young yet with various achievements in sales, specifically in the pharmaceutical industry. She worked in the sales field for about 8 years and currently working as a Gulf Key Account Manager in Saudi Dubai, United Arab Emirates. I worked with her for almost, I think, 6 to 7 years, and she's really one of the company's assets. Very proactive, innovative, and very driven, delivering her task without capping it at all. Without further delays, let's welcome Alaa Helmy. Hi, how are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you, Liz, for this great introduction. I really like it.
No, you really deserve more than that. So how are you
Thank you so
nowadays?
much.
How's your family? And I hope everyone's doing well.
Everyone is doing well. We only miss you here in UAE.
Oh, I miss you so much too. I miss the old days. Really super. But yeah, so good. I really thank you so much for allowing myself to have you in my show on this podcast. To start with, I would ask you, what are the previous and current positions you have related to sales?
Look, I started 8 years ago as a medical rep, moving to a senior medical rep at some point, like a team leader. Then moving as a product specialist, where I'm specialized in a specific area more. Then recently, I joined the new company, as you mentioned, Sobi, as a Gulf Key Account Manager, where I'm responsible for the hematology portfolio across the Gulf, UAE, Qatar, Oman, and Kuwait, and Bahrain as well.
Wow, impressive. Great jump. But yeah, so for your current job, I've heard it's about hematology products, but can you elaborate it more for our listeners? So what's the nature of this business and which industry specifically, just for them to understand us?
We work mainly with the hematologist for their own hematology patient. So we work with the big accounts where there is a lot of patients who need these hematology products. We are working, there is variety of different medication that, just to make it easy, almost solve the same disease. But most of them are similar to each other. Maybe one has one pro and the other one has a different side effect, but there is like the same category, serve the same indication. We have different products from different companies. So our job in sales is responsible for two things. First, educate the HCP or the healthcare provider on the medication part. The second is to make it available with the purchaser, provide a competitive price offer, so you can try to make the market driven to your product over the competitor.
Wow, so at very interesting.
To serve the patient at the end of the day.
Yeah, very interesting. Really, it's nice that you're in. But I mean, you've experienced a lot of portfolios like so far now. Yes. Yeah, so it's a great chance now that you're even exploring hematology part. So, can you share with us your favorite closing technique? I'll go to the sales closing techniques and tell us why.
Closing techniques are very, as you definitely know, they are very different. And each industry or each purchaser needs a specific kind of technique. First, you need to understand if you're talking to a physician, you need to close on mentioning that the product serves the patient. So you need to use the summary, the question thing. This is if you're talking about for the healthcare provider.
Summary closing,
if you're talking to a purchaser, you need to be a bit, you have to change your style to be more like now or never. if you're gonna
Now or
offer like
never.
something discount,
Okay.
you need to him to you need to bargain a bit. So this technique, I like it more with the purchaser, or whenever we are closing a deal without talking medically. I like to be a bit aggressive on the sales, that if he will ask for a specific kind of a discount, it will be provided once. So I'll make
Mhm.
sure that I will hammer hard and finish the deal immediately.
Wow. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. So it depends on the type of customer we are facing and what's their basic needs, right? I mean, for example, for the doctors, as you said, you're talking more of the benefits and what it does to the patient. So this is their main concern and educating them. And the other one is really about sales and the profits. Great.
Yes,
Know that one.
exactly.
Okay. But can you recall a scene of one of your best calls or meeting with your customer and tell us about it? What made it really very successful?
Um, for example, when we were trying to enter one of the government sectors, okay, and we wanted to our product to be exclusive, so
Yeah,
we are aiming high for the big cake.
of course.
So on the other side, the purchaser, or the one responsible in charge, was trying to squeeze us to keep on reducing the cost and increasing the
Mhm.
discount amount. So at this kind of technique, where I was like offering like a 15% off from the deal if we're gonna have it or not, and at some point he still wants to go more. So I
Oh.
told him,
Mhm. Mhm.
if so my product is usually needs and it's an injection, but it needs a pump to use this vial. So I told
Mhm.
them, if I'll go for the 20%, you will carry on the pump price. So
Wow,
I
you're
took
so
something
fast.
from the deal.
You're so fast. Okay.
And so I'll give you what you want, to take it from the other side, from what I want.
Wow.
So
Mhm.
usually the people think about what they miss more than
Yeah,
what they want. So
that's true.
you
That's
take
true.
away.
So in
So
the end, if they are missing something, I feel like they don't want to miss this part, right?
exactly what you're saying. So in the end, we ended up like, okay, I don't want the pump. We'll stick to the 15%. But you have to bring the pump. I was like, okay, this is my original deal in the end.
Wow,
So it
that's
was a big hit for a big success for us, that we were able to manage it to be like, okay, we kind of like served the customer. He
mm,
squeezed us. We agreed. Still, it's a win-win situation in the end. We don't want him to. Uh, we don't want to finish the deal without like a good deal for him as well. At the end of the day, he needs to be satisfied
yeah,
of
that's
what
true.
he got.
So yeah, what
Mhm.
we could learn here is that we really need to go for sharp angle closest. Like once he
Mhm.
asks for this, try to find a way where you have to remove something just to compensate. Of course, we have to compensate on our side for our profits too. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So I know that yeah, that's one of your best example, and really it's a very good one. How about a challenging one? Do you recall something which really you felt like you could have done better on that call?
Uh, Let me share with you kind of a situation I'm living in right now,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm trying to enter my product one of the hospitals. So I was discussing with the physician all the time, trying to
Mm-hmm.
mention the benefit, where my physician is kind of like kind of a convinced, but still waiting for the proper patient or new patient to try my medication on. Um this was happening for almost 2 months. Then I wasn't getting any sales. I wasn't pushing on the closing that much, or the result. There was kind of like a science, but I don't have any materialistic result in my hand.
Yeah.
So I started to involve different stakeholders, so the decision will be divided on so many people instead of only one. So that I started to offer the hospital like specific 1 month free on the entry, then the patient will continue on our medication. So even the hospital were coming to the doctor trying to convince him as well with the medication. So I started to put different pressure on the doctor in a good way, beneficial way. So I'm from not providing the benefit only for the physician, I'm providing it for the whole account or the whole hospital. I believe I did this, but very late. I didn't explore this kind of a solution only after 2 months. I was a bit soft in my closing. You need to wait sometimes, but waiting too long is an issue as well.
Yeah, so yeah, because I can imagine, because sometimes we really get overwhelmed with all of the tasks, and there are just some good, I mean, in front of us that you can make some decisions that can really can be a game changer, but we kind of be blinded of all of the things we're doing. So I can, it's happening to me also. You know, it happened to me also before, when you're overloaded, and it was just simple, just one switch, and we forgot to open that switch. Okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's good. It's better to be late than never, but really good that yeah, it's a great strategy to involve more stakeholders, so that we'll get, you know, a push from left, right, up, down, in all corners, so that
Exactly. You know how it works in pharma.
360 degrees. All right. So, yeah. What do you think is okay? What do you think should be the skills for a successful? I mean, I know that okay, there's a lot of skills involved on doing successful closing the sales, or having the deals with, or commitment with our buyers to get their buy-in. So what do you think is the main skill for a starter? What they have to learn from the start, for those people who are aspiring to be on a sales profession, or in sales field?
I believe there's two main things that served me very well. First of all, you understand you are dealing with human. So human, you need to understand that everyone has different intention, different need, even than the one they show you. So you need to have an emotional intelligence to understand the situation, what to do when, what to say to whom. Okay. Second of all, you need to be persistent, especially on your first day. Things are not as easy as we thought. Like, it's not like a capsule you give it, then you will find your answers in it. It's, you need to be, there is gonna be like a lot of persistence, a lot of pushing to reach where you want. You need to be persistent enough to reach your goal, not just to like, I tried this and that and didn't work, so I need to leave. This is the two things that served me very well, honestly.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. It's very a great and wise advice for those people who's listening, and who are aspiring to be on sales field. And really, I definitely agree with you that when communicating even with people, you really have to understand the person in front of you, on what type of communication would they prefer to receive, and how to learn to understand them more, their needs, the hidden intentions, and all, for you really to tap the button of yes. So yeah,
exactly.
intelligence is very important. Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. And yeah, persistence. And yeah, true, because nothing is so easy in this world. Life is really challenging. So if it doesn't mean that if it doesn't work now, we just stop. We just keep on pushing until we reach that level, the top. Okay, thank you for that.
Exactly.
Yes. So if we were gonna ask you, what is the most favorite closing technique for you, and why? I know that it depends on the person in front of you, but what's your most favorite one on tops? Like, as you could say that it's applicable to most of, not really most, but at least, you know, you find yourself doing it frequently?
Questions.
Question.
The Yeah, it's kind of like mix where you summarize your call into questions, and you get your customer to agree on everything. Like, you even like check the buttons that the customer didn't know that he needs. I know that you want this. Is this what you want? Is this? It's kind of like you clarify, you summarize, and you put it in a way for the customer that he needs to agree on your deal.
Cool. But do you experience also that despite of, for example, role like aligning with them on all of this, but still those people are just not, responding? Is it frequent, or most of the time they are like positive and, giving you support?
Actually, I think it's a mix. Sometimes you need to, it will go back to the beginning where the emotional intelligence will play a part. Did you understand the customer? Maybe the customer is not they don't like it to be driven. They don't like I think question doesn't work with the driver customer.
Yeah.
It works with the expressive one, with the amiable one, a bit with the analytical customers, a bit. But it definitely helps to summarize things. But if we will go back to the first point where we need to understand the customer first, and accordingly we'll use the technique that fits him. And sometimes you can mix between your techniques. Even from the beginning, we mentioned that the way we close with the procedure is totally different than the way we close with the doctor or a physician. Because here you need him to be sure of the benefit he's receiving for his patient, while the other one needs to be sure for the amount of savings he's receiving for his. So it's definitely different talk or different language between both of them.
Okay, so
even the techniques might be different.
Yeah, so it goes down again on the needs, right? Okay, cool. Okay, I just want to know also, because a lot of students who are aspiring to be a sales person in future, or be, sales manager in future also, what do you think are the vital behavior or routine to be a successful salesperson? So what's your day-to-day, maybe you could share your day-to-day routine that really improves you on your profession?
I'll tell you one thing I heard before from the first days. Maybe you know Dr. Murad Ishaq, but
of course, my previous manager.
He was mentioning that in order to be a successful salesperson, you need to be an action-oriented person. So from the beginning of the day, you need to work on your actions. What do I need during the day? So I think like you wake up, you put like your specific timing of meditation where you relax your mind, cool down. Even a physical effort will be helpful. I'm not talking about much, maybe running even 20 minutes or doing some push-ups just to like release all the tension and just be stretched. Then you work on like 10-15 minutes. What do I want to do today? What is the plan? What's the things we need to be done by the end of the day? So you will be like, will help you cool down during the day. Like everything is on the right place. Then you go work, like pursuing what you agreed on with yourself to the morning. Okay. A bit relief in the end. And I think another thing that the customer or the salesperson needs to do, he needs to read. The more he reads, the more he will develop his mindset, and the more he will find even like topics or common interests between him and his customer to discuss. Because at the end of the day, it's a business personal relationship. You don't just go to the people, talk to them about the business and just leave. There is this kind of a personal part in this relationship where you need to figure out the common things, talk to your customer about. Reading really help you in this as well so much. And you need to find time for your family. No work.
So it's a
This is
work-life balance.
yes. Don't get involved with the work so much that you forget the basics.
Yeah,
Family time
true.
still works. We don't want them to learn this the hard way, as we
Yeah.
learned it all.
Yeah, oh my God, we learned it all from our previous job. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love the advice that you've mentioned that they really have to read. Do you have any on top of your mind to recommend which kind of book they have to start reading?
I think one of the most oldest book, like a very basic one, it's the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People for Stephen
Okay.
Covey.
Wow.
It's a very old one, but I think it's a very basic, like kind of an ABC for behaviors to have it on your mind to start any kind of job, even in sales. It sets you right, it sets your behavior properly to achieve anything.
Thank you very much. Lastly, now,
Mm.
what can you advise really on the starters in this dynamic industry to be successful in sales field? I know that those are the day-to-day thing, but what more you could advise as a starter? For example, they don't have any experience and very nervous about how to be a salesperson. And I can still remember my first call with the doctor. So what you can advise for such kind of people who will be really starting their career in sales?
Do mistakes, do more mistakes early. The
Wow.
more early, the more you do,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
the
I
more
love your
mistakes
advice.
you're doing it early, the more you will be better on the long term. No one gets the experience by the words. Even if you, in my
Mm-hmm.
experience, podcast, it's help you in the mindset. But at the end of the day, you don't understand the lesson when I gave it to you through words. You understand it when you mess up opportunities, when you fail, when you hit the ground badly.
Mm-hmm.
This is when you wake up and understand what should be done and how it should be done. So on the early ages, do all kind of mistakes you want. Just try
Wow.
to go through the process early.
Thank you very much. Really, it is really great advice. Yeah, do mistakes because really I've learned a lot from my mistakes too. I can recall all of those those days, but you're just there on a position where you don't have experience, but you have to do it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much for that. And so, Ala, now that you're new on this company, as you've mentioned on Sobi, what do you think? How do you see yourself after 3 or 5 years from now?
Honestly speaking, I'm seeing myself growing the whole portfolio across the region. I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing myself as a better key account manager in terms of techniques, behavior, skills. I don't know what is the next 3-4 years opportunities will come to me, but
Yeah,
what I know that I need to be prepared to any kind of opportunity. This is my part.
great. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
and really all the best for your new position. I really wish you more success. I know that you will really, again, nail it, and for sure you will be one of their assets of the company, as usual.
Thank you, Liz.
And yeah, thank you very much, Ella, and not just accepting my invitation, but I am sure for those who will listen to this podcast, they will value all your wise pieces of advice and recommendations and will be inspired that life is challenging. Hella yes, but what you reap is what you sow. Hence, we need to continue developing ourselves, skills, and knowledge, and work not just harder, but smarter. And as she mentioned also, let's make some mistakes because we're going to learn from it. Thank you very much to our listeners for staying tuned. I will be back with another inspiring story, and feel free to comment on what topic you would like me to cover in the future. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate your valuable time. Always remember, everyone can make a difference. We are unique. Therefore, don't forget to inspire and shine. Thank you so much. Bye.